Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Erica, and I'm here to talk to you mostly about life stuff today, but also a little bit about cross stitch. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I hope you stay and check out today's video. It is going to be a little bit heavier on the life talk than the stitching, mostly because I only worked on 2 stitching projects this week. So if you want to skip straight to the stitchy talk, there will be a timestamp below, so you can do that. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again today. Oh man, you can't even see my pretty necklace. I put on this, I literally just got up and put this on. My mom and I were talking earlier this week, about ancestry. So I'm getting really into genealogy again, mostly from watching Outlander. And season 4 left off with the start of the American Revolution, I think. And George Washington, you know, that's American Revolution because George Washington wasn't even president yet. And we can trace our family back, I think, into the American Revolution, definitely to the Civil War. And then she's got like these Civil War letters that some of her ancestors, he wrote back and forth with his wife. I guess he had like typhoid fever, so he didn't really see too much action. He's mostly in the hospital. But I asked her to send those to me, and then we got to talking about jewelry. Oh, I should have brought the other jewelry out too. I'll try to do that next week. I have my great-grandmother's engagement ring from like 1930. It's beautiful white gold, kind of like Art Deco style with just a small diamond in it. This is her mother, so my great-grandmother's, it's a yellow gold. I want to say it's called Black Forest gold. I wrote on my arm yesterday like I'm in high school because I had to remind myself to do something. But it's opal in the center and then pink sapphires around it. I'm assuming it's her birthstone, because it's my birthstone, October. And I always heard it was bad luck to wear opal if it wasn't your birthstone. But it's so pretty. And I have a cameo necklace from her. Like, I have all this vintage jewelry. And my mom was like, I can't believe I ever let you have that. I was like, I can't believe you let me have it either. Like, I've had it for probably 10 years now. But I want to start wearing it more. Probably not too much outside the house because I would just be devastated if anything ever happened to it and I lost it. But that's the necklace today. So I have a lot to chat about. Hopefully you have some stitching stuff that you can just, actually I took notes today, that's why I'm holding a pen. I don't put it down so I'm not fidgeting. Hopefully you have some stitching stuff that you can work on while you listen to me blab about things and your coffee. I just finished mine. My husband's fishing today, and so he's not downstairs watching the kids. That's why the door is cracked a little bit so I can hear more. They're cuddled up so cute on the couch watching Paw Patrol. Okay, so first thing, last week I mentioned my family and I were going on a little surprise staycation, and one of you guessed it correctly. We went to Great Wolf Lodge here in Colorado Springs. It was amazing. It was expensive. Absolutely are going to do it again, probably in another, I don't know, 4 to 6 months. Like, I could see us going, once or twice a year to it, just because you get that vacation feel, but it's, across town. So it's not a far drive. It was just over $200 for the night, which is pretty pricey for a hotel room, but you get water park access starting at 1 o'clock on the day that you arrive and the day that you leave, since we only stayed one night. So the next day you can stay in the water park all day. So for a family of 4 to go to a water park like in Florida, you're looking at $60 to $75 just for one day. So I figure 2 days at a water park and a hotel stay in a very, very, very nice room, worth the $200. We got, I think it was called like the Junior Deluxe Suite. Now, also, we paid a very good deal. Look on Groupon. If you're military, they have really good rates. I just went to their website and they had some like 30% off deal. And Sunday night was considered like a weekday rate. The weekend rates were like $450, but Sunday night was a lot cheaper. So we went on a Sunday night. My husband and I drove separately, so he just left for work the next day straight from the hotel. And so we did the water park. My kids had a blast. Like, I wasn't quite sure how my daughter would do. They just turned 4 and 2 in September, so she is a very young 2, very intimidated easily by lots of new things and people. She was living it up, living her best life. I can hear them whining already. My son loved it. They had a blast. He's in swim lessons. He just started swim lessons 2 weeks ago, and he's having a hard time putting his face underwater, which I totally get. It's super scary. I don't know how to swim still. Like, I have to plug my nose. So I really want my son to learn how to swim properly and safely. And so I thought taking him to Great Wolf Lodge would kind of get him over that fear, and it did. He would go down these slides and momentarily go under the water and come up all smiles. He was so happy. So it was so much fun. They have a lot of other activities there that you can do, but I'm telling you, you will drop a small fortune. So we did the arcade, $35 for 20 minutes. We went, I mean, it wasn't like a time, it was 100 and something tokens or pause or whatever they're called, but we went through it in 20 minutes. They got a ton of toys though, like we racked up some tickets. So they got bouncy balls, slime, toppers, some candy. So they had fun with that. They had Ben and Jerry's there. They have not Krispy Kreme, maybe Dunkin' Donuts, some sort of donut shop. So the kids got ice cream after dinner Sunday night. They have a story time where they come out and read a story, and it was so sweet. All the kids loved it. Most of them were in their pajamas. We did the mining experience, which I think was a total ripoff. I would never do that again. It's supposed to be like panning for gold, and the kids get to keep the gemstones they find. I was like, oh, that's awesome. My son's obsessed with gemstones. Well, they literally just gave us a bag, and they were like, here, dump the bag in the sifter, and you get to keep what you find. It took him under 2 minutes, and it was like $13. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But they had like rope course, climbing walls. We didn't do because they weren't old enough. I hear the shrieking. Anyways, we just had a really, really good time. So if there's a Great Wolf Lodge around you and you have young kids, I think it is well worth just go. What was that? Just going to the water park alone was worth it. But like I said, check Groupon because it is very expensive. So get a good deal. Okay, next thing I want to talk about. TV shows. Last week I mentioned Outlander and I'm slightly traumatized by it. But I am still looking forward to season 5. I think it's supposed to start in February. And I had a lot of really good show recommendations. One I watched first was Victorian Farm. I think it was like either 4 or 6 part series, and it's all on YouTube. I think it was 6 because it was like 5.5 hours long. And I watched it all. And that was really good. I will say, as a diehard vegetarian, a little painful for me to see some of the stuff, like they snap rabbits' heads, like on film. I don't even like saying that. I should have probably said that. Lots and lots and lots of very graphic animal slaughtering and eating. I don't know how else to say it nicely. Which for many people is not a big deal, but for me that was hard to watch. But I understand that that was the way of life. It still is the way of life. Like, as much as I am, like I said, like a very passionate vegetarian, I don't impose my beliefs on others. My kids, I feed them meat all the time. My husband eats meat at every single meal. I remember when we were living in Alaska, a lot of the small tribal villages there, they rely on hunting to literally survive through the winter. I'm not going to fault them for that. They are expert huntsmen. They kill humanely. They use every single part of the animal. That I have zero issues with. I personally could not kill an animal myself, so I don't feel like I have the right to eat it. And also, most of the meat that I'm getting off on a tangent, but a lot of the meat that you have in the grocery stores are treated very badly. But I still remember in Alaska when we were there, I think it was like a 16-year-old boy from one of the fishing villages killed a whale, a humongous, humongous, humongous whale. And this poor kid was receiving death threats from all around the world. Like, it made pretty big news in Fairbanks where we were at. And I was like, that's so messed up. I mean, he literally just fed his entire village for the winter. Yes, would I rather the whale not died? Probably. But the whale's going to die eventually anyways. And probably lived a really good life. And now it's going to help feed an entire village of people. So, anyways, the Victorian Farm was very good to watch, but it was also a little hard to see stuff like that. Somebody else recommended, actually I think a few people recommended watching The Crown. I had tried to watch that years ago, probably when it first came out, and for some reason I just did not like it. To be fair, I didn't get through the first like 20 minutes. I remember it was just like a lot of talking and it was so boring and blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers, but in episode 1, one of the main characters has a very invasive, risky, I'm assuming for back in the day, surgery. And so I didn't even make it to that scene. Once I got to that scene, things really picked up the pace this time around. And so I started watching it last night. And I was like, oh, good. It's really good, but I don't think I'm going to, stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning like I did with Outlander, having to watch every single episode. Well, guess who was up till 2 o'clock in the morning last night? And then woken up at 7 a.m. by my 4-year-old. I love it. It's a very good show. I also watched a couple documentaries, one on Beneath the Stairs, I think. It was a BBC documentary on the lives and the evolutions of servants in England. And then I watched a 4-part series on Henry, oh gosh, I think it's the 8th, 6 Wives. So good. It's on Curiosity Stream. So anyways, I'm getting just really into history again. And so watching The Crown, I think it's so amazing. And I always think things like, my mom in the 70s talks about how she went and spent the summer one time with her grandma, my great-grandma. And I was like, wow, you spent the whole summer with somebody who lived through the Depression and World War II. And her mom lived in the Victorian era. Like, it's so easy to forget. The Victorian era was like your grandmother's mother's age. Like, it wasn't that long ago. And so, I mean, The Crown happens after the Victorian era because it happens after Queen Victoria has passed. But it's so good. It's so good. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, so one other quick thing. My son saved up his allowance for 2 weeks and bought his first diamond painting. And it is so cute. It's a monster truck. They were 40% off at Hobby Lobby yesterday, so it was $6. He bought that, and then he bought some scented markers. And he's doing really good with it because it takes a lot of very precise, fine motor skills. And my son, he learns very quickly, and he typically excels at things. But when he doesn't, he gets very frustrated. So I see where he gets it from. And so I was a little worried that he might get frustrated easily, not being able to. But he's helped me with my diamond painting before, so he knew the movements and what to do. But he's doing amazing with it. He's gotten through 4 or 5 colors already. He's not missed a single symbol, like, before we move on to the next color. Like, I am so proud of him. It's so cute. So it might be done by next week. We'll see. But as soon as it's done, I'll definitely show it because oh my gosh, he's so proud of himself. Okay. I think that's it for chit chat. So I'm going to write down the time. Oh my gosh. And I'm trying to be way more sensitive about the sound. I noticed, because I'll rewatch sometimes to see like who a giveaway winner was, or if this morning I rewatched and I was like, did I talk about Great Wolf Lodge last week? If I move things or if I even write things, the phone picks it up because I just use my phone to record. So I'm trying to be much more cognizant of the sound. Oh man, I don't have the pattern for this, but okay, so these are the ornaments I've been working on. Prairie Schooler, I want to say Snowy Nights, mostly for my in-laws. This one was all this white last time. I hadn't started yet, but I did like the top of the roof. I think you can tell the white stitches where it's like right here. I haven't done those yet. So that one I still need to do the border. That one I just need to finish up the white. And then I did get some of this one done this week. I got the 3 cardinals and I've started on the greenery behind it. So my goal is to have 6 of these done. Oh my God, you guys, December is next week, isn't it? Crap. Oh, that's the other thing. I don't know what made me think about this the other day. If you follow me on Instagram or if you ever message me, I try not to, but I cuss like a sailor in real life. I mean, not around my kids. I never cuss. Well, I try not to cuss in front of my kids. I definitely have before. I cuss like a sailor. And so occasionally, like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you might hear it. I try to be really respectful of the fact that people don't cuss like me and their kids might be listening. So I really don't verbally cuss on Instagram, but like sometimes things that I post like have text on it, or sometimes if I'm messaging people, it slips. I don't know what made me think about that. But I was like, I wonder if people who watch me would think that I cuss as much as I do. I do. Sorry. I don't know why. It's not like, I don't think it's tacky when I hear other people do it, but it certainly isn't something that you think like, oh wow, they've got a great vocabulary when you hear someone. Oh, Christine messaging me talking SHIT, actually, if we want to be honest right now. I'll write her back in just a second. Man, this is going to be such a fast video. Like I said, I only worked on 2 projects. I've been working on the ornaments and then this beauty inspired by Christine at Stitch All the Things. Oh man, that's something else I wanted to do. I wanted to shout out some more Flosstubers lately. I still have not been watching God, Christine, maybe this is my train of thought. I still haven't been watching very much Flosstube. That's what I was gonna say. But I wanted to shout out some Flosstubers just because there are some that I really like that I feel don't have as many subscribers as they should because they're really good channels. So I'm gonna work on that for next week too. And I thought about, even on Instagram the other day, I was going to like say, hey, if you guys like Flosstube, make sure you follow these Flosstubers on Instagram because they're really active and it's fun to follow them. But then I didn't want anyone's feelings to get left out if I didn't include them. I will say right now, gosh, and I'll link her in the description. I don't know if it's the Traveling Viking Mama or just Traveling Viking Mama. She's one of my friends. I think her husband's Air Force. Prolific stitcher and amazing finisher. She gets so much stitching done and finishes them so beautifully. Like if you like Java Girl stitches, Real Housewives finishing, that is exactly what she does, and it is amazing all the time. Like oh my God, I seriously haven't finished like a single thing still. I have 2 Christmas pieces that are finished but not FFO'd, fully finished, like framed and ready to display. I need to get on that. Like I keep telling myself, like the ornaments. Maybe that's what I was thinking about cussing because I was like, oh my God, it's next week. I gotta get these things out. Insert string of curse words. I need 6 of these done. And then I like to mail everything out the first week of December because it might take like a week to get there. So we're talking middle of December. And since these are ornaments, I want people to be able to enjoy them this year. Oh my gosh. I gotta think of something for the kids to make people too. Maybe we'll do that today. Maybe. Oh no, I'm not going to a craft store on a Sunday. Oh my God, that'd be torture. Maybe we'll do that this week. Oh my God, Black Friday's this week too. Oh my God. Anyways, all over the place. Christmas sentiments from Stony Creek. This was a stitch along started by Christine at Stitch All the Things, who I love and adore. She's so awesome. I really like her channel. She's somebody you should watch. Her country stitches, Liz and Deb, oh my God, I want to be their friends so bad. They are like the sweetest ladies I think I've seen on Flosstube. Those are 2 that I'm still watching pretty consistently, even though I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus from watching Flosstubes. They're just so nice to listen to. They're a good mix of life and stitching, and they don't stitch what everybody else is stitching, which is not a bad thing because most of the stuff that I stitch is very popular. Oh my gosh, I ordered a new pattern. I don't know what's gonna be here because it's coming from overseas. Oh my God, I cannot wait. I will say it's very much like the Egyptian chatelaine that I'm going to be working on. I was thinking the other day too, what my stitching plans are for 2020, because right now I'm like nothing but Christmas. As soon as the holidays are over, my focus for next year is going to be finishing up my dad's fishing cross stitch, my daughter's Tiny Modernist Castle, doing a Nintendo one for my son, my Mirabilia Cathedral Woods Goddess, and my Egyptian chatelaine. So like my non-seasonal pieces, because I know the camera's shaking, I'm sorry. I don't really have a lot of spring stitching stuff that I want to do. I have actually none that I want to do, and so I figure that's going to be a really good time from like January till summer to just get these other non-holiday projects hopefully completed. I mean, I don't think I'll get the chatelaine completed, but who knows. But definitely like the gifts for my family, the Cathedral Woods Goddess, I think I'm half done stitching. So that one would be pretty quick if I wasn't working on like 7 different Christmas projects. This new pattern that I've ordered, and I would like to start Halloween earlier next year. You know, I'll probably start working on Halloween as soon as Christmas is over. I'll have 1 or 2, and I'll keep working on Christmas too. Mostly I just don't have a lot of like spring and summer themed stitching. I thought about doing, Little House Needleworks has the Early American series that I really like, because I like the idea of beautiful designs and historic significance to them. But then I looked closer at the designs and I don't 100% love them. I like 90% love them, but that's a lot to stitch for something that I'm not 100% in love with. So I think I might hold off. There are some other kind of patriotic ones that I might look at instead, because I would like to, I have the Cottage of the Month July done, but I'd like 1 or 2 other 4th of July ones, because my husband's military and we like to celebrate 4th of July, and I decorate a little bit for it, so it would be nice to have that. And maybe some gardening ones. I think that might be kind of cute. I have one garden related cross stitch. Next week, maybe I'll do that too, because I feel like next week might be the same, where I just have like 2 patterns that I've worked on. And I will try to list out a couple Flosstubers to watch and bring all of my FOs that need, and maybe some FFOs to show, because I'm not going to finish these until all 6 are done. So, oh my God, I need to get my button gear. But this is almost done. Oh my God, you guys are like, lady, stop talking, show us this. This is almost done. I had to go to Ruth's Stitchery yesterday with both my kids, and thankfully it was a very pleasant experience. They typically, for some reason, just go like wild in the quilt shop. Any other store, Walmart, Target, Hobby Lobby, they're totally normal, sane children. But in like a quiet, upscale fabric store, they just go ballistic. I don't know what's going to do. But I mentioned last time that I was going to run out of, it's called Ivy, whatever. If you do this pattern, it calls for 2 skeins of monkey grass and just 1 of ivy. No, you need 2 of ivy. Even Christine, who just finished all this, said that she was very judicious with how she used her thread, like planning every move to make sure that she used the least amount possible. And she was going to be left with like 2 pieces of a sixth strand length, and that's it. I was not judicious. I was a no limit soldier with how I use my floss, and I definitely needed 2 skeins. Oh my God, look at how pretty. And I had to do some frogging this week, so I'm trying, oh my gosh. You guys, this I feel is like one of the most underrated patterns out there. If it hadn't been for Christine, I have never seen it. I don't know if I ever would see it. It is beautiful. I cannot wait to beat it. And I'm pretty close to a finish. I mean, the tree I could finish up today. I have a lot of orders to work on. You might have saw my bag on Real Housewives yesterday. But I could easily finish the tree tonight. And then I also need to do just like the pot for the plant right here. Like, I could finish all that. I had to frog all of this brown. So I remember when I started stitching on 28, I was like, I wonder when I'll make my first miscount on 28 cloth. It was this project. Now I know when my first was. This A was 1 thread over. So there was supposed to be just 1 square, like, but it's over 2 in between these letters, and it was 1 square, but it was over 3. So because that was 1 over, when I went up to start the brown, all that was 1 over 2. And at first I was like, you know what? It doesn't bother me. Like, I can still just start and finish where I need to, and it'll just be, but like it would have been 1 off from this pot on the tree. It does bother me. Of course it bothers me. I don't know why I was trying to convince myself that it wouldn't bother me. I'm way too OCD. So I had to rip all that out and redo it. And even then I still messed it up. Look, right there. It's supposed to go, like, it goes 1, 2, 3. And then instead of going back to 2, 1, I just went right back to 1. I mean, you can just see I messed up. So I got to take this part out again. Okay, but it's beautiful. And once again, I need to learn how to frame things. Maybe I'll see how Christine frames hers. Because this is not going to fit into a custom size frame. It gives the finished size 11 1/4 by 6 3/4. So, I mean, I guess if I could find a 12x8 rectangle frame, that would be perfect. I don't know how common those are. Maybe I'll do a quick like search online today. But there we go. So I need to add, I've got the red stars already that go on the top of the tree. They're Mill Hill treasures. And then gold beads are gonna go all over the tree in the center of these reds. So there we go. So once that's done, my focus will go back to the ornaments. You guys, please be nice. I'm almost done, okay? Oh, my daughter, she's so whiny. She cries so much over everything. Like, I can tell when she's actually hurt. She ain't hurt. Her feelings are hurt right now. My focus is going to go back on these. And then I also have 2 of the Homestead Christmas from Little House Needleworks pretty much done. I just need to finish those as well. And I'm going to finish all my ornaments at once. So get it out one time, and then I need to get the tree up because next week's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to put my farm-themed tree right here. I picked up a couple more farm-related ornaments at Walmart yesterday. They were $2 a piece. So I was like, gotta grab like 3 of them. Okay, the giveaway. Last week I was giving away this adorable cherry wall quilt kit that comes with everything you need except for the batting and like needle and thread and whatnot. Comes with a quilt top. It's already pieced together. It's just one fabric. You don't have to do anything. Oh, I need to finish there's my Santa wall quilt. Oh, and I'm so bummed. When we went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, they have those on display, and it wasn't bound. It was just turned in top stitch. I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? So all they did was right sides together with batting, stitched it all around, turned it out, top stitched it, and then they quilted it. So they don't have to bind it. I was like, oh, God. But I already quilted mine, so I can't turn it out and do anything. I still might just take the raw edges and fold them in a ½ inch or so and just top stitch around the whole thing. Y'all, I really, really hate binding. I am so bad at it. So we'll see. That's hopefully gonna be finished next week. The tree will be up next. Oh my gosh. Next week, the tree will be up when you guys are on here. Yay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Kind of get so distracted. The winner for this is Cynthia Bonds. Cynthia, if you could email me your address, my email is below. I would appreciate it. Also, very strange request, but if you received a bag from me on Wednesday of last week and it was not the correct bags, please let me know, because I have somebody that ordered 2 bags and the tracking number I sent her was not correct and it said delivered, but she never got them. And now I can't find her name in my shipping history, but there was a woman that received one on Wednesday that the weight was higher than it should have been for just one bag that she ordered. So I'm thinking she accidentally got her too. But she hasn't said anything to me. So I'm going to reach out to her. But if you're watching it and and it was delivered on Wednesday and it's not the bags you ordered, please contact me and I will rectify the situation immediately. I can send you a shipping label to send it to her. I will send your bag out. Like, no problems. I can get it done tomorrow. But just let me know on the off chance that you're watching and you got a mistaken order. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. My kids have reached their limit. It's been, oh my gosh, almost 30 minutes. They've done really good watching Paw Patrol downstairs. Thank you for hanging out with me today and listening to me ramble about life stuff. Next week, like I said, I hope to have Christmas sentiments will be done. I know that 100%. That is one of the best projects I've ever worked on. I'm so excited to finish it. The tree will be up. Hopefully Santa Claus will be hanging right here. I'll have to move this stuff. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you are in America celebrating that this week. I'm excited for the holidays. I am excited that we are keeping it very, very low-key this year. We are doing all handmade gifts for the family pretty much. Our kids, we really don't buy them anything ever. Like for their birthdays and Christmas, we just know that the grandparents send them stuff and we don't like to have too much stuff. So we just don't really buy them too much. So it's kind of nice. Like I know a lot of families are stressing about like, I'm in a spouses group for Fort Carson, and there's been quite a few moms already who are like, we don't know how we're going to afford Christmas and this and that. And that's different, because we know our family's sending gifts. They might not be having that, but it makes me appreciate the fact that we don't have to have that stress over Christmas. Like we don't really get each other anything. The kids, we might pick out 1 or 2 things for them, but it's not going to be Somebody else messaging me. I don't know what that means. Nothing outrageous. It's just nice. It is just nice to be able to enjoy the holiday, make beautiful items, listen to Christmas music. We're gonna bake cookies, like do all those things, and not have to worry about fighting crowds on Black Friday or spending too much money, or being stressed because we can't, you know, afford things. Like we're very lucky. Like I said, it's nice that our families send them gifts, and so we know that we don't have to worry about it so much. Not everybody has that, so we're lucky. Look at that, some good news for us. Like, I feel like it's been like the craziest year ever. My husband, this is getting off topic and then I'll get off. My husband's been getting his pay docked erroneously by the finance department for months now. And so it's to the tune of thousands of dollars, and they're not getting things fixed. And so that's been a little bit stressful for us. My mom's cancer at the beginning of the year was stressful. Then I had all those heart issues. Now, I went to the dentist this week for a cleaning, and they were like, you have a white spot in the back of your mouth. Have you ever noticed it? I was like, no. He was like, were you ever a smoker? And I was like, yeah, I was a heavy smoker for 10 years. And he got this look on his face. I was like, oh my God. So like the second he turned, it wasn't the dentist, it was just the hygienist. So literally the second he turned his back, went to my phone Googling survival rates for mouth cancer. And then he's like, I want to get the doctor to come in here and take a look at things. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God, this is it. This is it for me. You guys know I have a horrible amount of anxiety, and it all revolves around death and dying, myself and my kids, or health issues, or car accidents. So the dentist comes in, and he looks at it, and he's like, yeah, it looks like, I can't even remember the name of it. Lycoplasia, maybe? Something along those lines. If you've heard of it, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. He's like, could be harmless. Probably harmless. Could be not harmless. You should go to an oral surgeon and have it checked out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God. As soon as I got home and I told Travis, he was like, why does the weirdest stuff always happen to you? I was like, I don't know. But in my head, I heard, might be harmless, could be cancer. Might have 6 months to live, might have 50 years. I don't really know. Of course, it's not what he said, but that is exactly what I heard. So then I get home and I look it up, and there's like a 3 to 15% chance that they turn into cancer in the next 15 years. And it's mostly seen in old men over 60. I'm like, what is going on? And so I have an appointment with the oral surgeon next week. But, you know, I had all those weird heart issues, and they turned out to be nothing. So it's been a very, then the IRS is saying I owe thousands of dollars from 2017, and I'm still going back and forth with them about that. It's been a very weird couple of months. So it's nice that we're in a holiday season. There's nothing to stress about. Like, I think that's my whole point. We need just a nice couple of relaxing few weeks. My husband was gone, for 3 or 4 months. We got croup. We got stomach flu. My son had this weird rash. I don't even know if I told you guys about that. Like the day after, it was stomach flu, croup, and then all of a sudden he was using the restroom one day and he had bright red welts all down his legs. I was like, what is happening? Turns out I think it was just a reaction to bubble bath we used, which he's never had a skin reaction to anything before. But 2 days later, he was fine, and we did use the bubble bath again. It was, you know how they have like that rock candy? They had like rock fizz things for the bath, and we used that one night, and the next day he had that reaction. So that's what it was. Okay, I'm rambling. I have to go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week.